Today, I'm going to try to get this GoPro Hero 5 mounted onto this Shoei GT-AIR. Something like that. Pretty challenging, but I'll show you how we're going to do it on this episode of Wrenchie. Hey, welcome to another episode of Wrenchie. Good to see you again. Thanks so much to everybody who commented and wished me well on the recovery. As you might or might not know if you've been watching, I had some new body parts put in on some sports injury to get that taken care of, and I've been off the bike now for ever, it seems. And I'm now almost 6 weeks out of surgery, and I'm feeling pretty good, and I think I'm ready to ride, or at least give it a try. So I wanted to go ahead and do some moto vlogging. I mentioned that before. At least I take my inaugural back on the bike ride and record that. And I've done some before where I've taken a GoPro, nothing special, Hero 5 this happens to be, Hero 5 Black, and I mounted it on the bike. I had it on the fairing, I've had it up on handlebars, I've had it, where else have I had it? On the tank, and the fairing was about the best, but even that was a really limited vision, because all you could see was that one perspective. So I thought, I'd like to really mount this on my helmet, but what I've seen is not satisfactory to me. I don't want to mount it on the let me show you. So I don't want to mount it on the side, because it's this big chunk hanging out the side, and there's a lot of wind resistance and whatnot, and with the wide angle you tend to get some of the helmet in the frame. Same problem with the top with the wind resistance, and I don't like that. And I like to be able to point my head and I know what I'm looking at, so I'd like to mount it right here. Right here. So as I turn my head, the camera moves with it and all's good. And I've seen a number of folks do this mount where they've taken a number of the GoPro pieces of hardware and, they put it on the side, maybe mounted the mount plate on the side, and then with some extension arms, they work it around to the front. Which is okay, but, it looked like a set of retainers for braces, almost, this big contraption out front there. So I don't know. The challenge, though, is that, here, I'll show you this, here. The GT-AIR, and this is the GT-AIR original, not the GT-AIR 2. I'm not sure what that one looks like on the profile. But here's the vent control here. So we want to make sure we can still use that. But you can see in the profile there, that's not a flat surface. And if I were to take a GoPro mount, this happens to be the J mount with a curved bottom. But the flat's the same problem. But if I were to take that and mount that here, you can see there's a lot of space behind it. It doesn't mount flush. So today I'm going to mount this thing up in a whole different way, and it's not original. I didn't come up with it. I did a lot of reading and YouTubing, and I want to have a special shout out to Kevin at McRider. Check him out. I'll link it up here, or certainly down in the comments in the description. I'll link his site. He's a professional instructor for riding. You're going to learn how to ride safer, better skills. He's got a great channel. Check him out if you give a chance. But he came up with this mounting approach. And he also put it on a helmet without that had not a flat profile. So we're going to give it a shot here. So let's get wrenching. I hope you can see this. So this is a standard GoPro curved mount, and I want to mount this here. But you can see there's plenty of space. This is not flat by any stretch of imagination. It's a multiple contour, and I want to mount it such that it doesn't interfere with the vent control, and I don't want it hanging down below here. And I my idea is that I would use this, like I said, this J mount here, and put the camera on like thusly. I may need to put an extension on this to bring it out a little bit and up. We'll see, maybe both, because those of you with GoPros who want to hook up an external mic, you already know you can't do it without the proprietary damn little box that goes on this thing, right? Yeah. Oh, by the way, they've been back ordered for at least the last month and a half that I know of, so can't even get them right now. And they're 50 bucks, and they're damn near as big as the back screen right there. I mean, it's just this giant turd of this connector, USB-C connector, proprietary POS. So I want to be able to do vlogging, so I want to put the, hey there, I want to put the, hang on. Okay, so I want to put a mic in the helmet so I can, you know, get good audio into the camera, just record it onto it as I ride, right? I mean, no big deal. I already have the Sena? I think it's the U10, which is made for the GT-AIR. It's pretty cool. It's completely built into the helmet. There's the controls inside. There's nothing on the outside. The battery and everything else is tucked in back here. It's kind of nice. As far as a fit, it's got a remote control on the handlebar. You know, it's Bluetooth into the phone like you would expect. Speakers are fair to poor, frankly. I may upgrade those at some point. But anyway, I need to put a second mic in here. There's already one for the Sena. I need to put a second mic in for the GoPro. So I don't want a bunch of stuff hanging on the side again. I don't want to mount the GoPro adapter to the side of the helmet, and there's really no room on the inside. So I want to put it, I think, on the back here of the camera, but I'm not sure how much space I'll need, you know, for that thing until I get it. So I think this J mount's going to work just fine. I may need to have a just an extension to bring it out just a little further so I can still tip it back because the head will be down, right, in the slight tuck position on the on the Ninja. And so anyway, enough talk. How are we going to do it? Well, this, you may have seen this already too. I'm not the first guy to try this, but if you haven't, this is something called Sugru. Yes, Sugru. This is like like it says, it's a moldable glue. It's like putty, and it comes in various colors. This pack happens to be an 8-pack that has 4 white and 4 black. They also sell a 3-pack that's all in one color, which I was trying to get, but that's back ordered too. Not a good day. Anyway, so I think what we'll need is a couple of packs of the black. And you just cut this open. There's a little bit of putty in each of these, and you mold it up. We'll put it on the back and stick it on there. And what this does is it gives you about a half an hour of mold play time. And then once it's all in place, you let it cure, and it cures into like a siliconized rubber, best I can describe it. It's on, as far as I can tell. I've never used it before, but I've seen it, and I've heard about it, and I've talked to people who've used it, so they swear by it. So we'll give it a whirl and see what happens. So the first thing we have to do is peel off all the sticky on the back here that comes on it. And this is this is an adventure. It's not made to come off on purpose. Okay, as expected, that was a pain in the ass, but that's all clean, that's off now, so that's good to go. All right, to get things going, I'm going to hit the helmet with just a little bit of denatured alcohol just to get any kind of grease or whatnot off the helmet. just to make sure that sticks correctly. Pretty filthy. When I saw Kevin on McRider do this, he used 2 on an HJC helmet that didn't have quite the pronounced lip protrusion that the GT-AIR has. So I don't know if I'll need 2 or 3. I've got enough, so maybe I'll just maybe I'll just go with, well, I'll open 2 and see how that looks, and then if we need more, we'll need more. So here we go. I also have a pan of water here, just tap water. What Kevin did was he said that the as you mold the stuff and try to smooth it off, kind of like caulk, using a little water on your finger to help try to smooth it over and make it more finished look. So I'll try it. I got the water as well. All right, so there it is, Sugro. So here we go. I'm just going to make a ball of it, stick it on the back, spread it out. So that's the idea there. And I use black that covers, matches the helmet. So I'll just spread this. Let's see if you can see this. So I don't think that's going to be enough, honestly. So I'm going to go with the 3rd package. Like I said, this is a pretty big it's a pretty big divot in the helmet, not divot, but protrusion in the helmet. And I'm going to move it out to the top and bottom because the protrusion is in the middle, just to get a good coverage here. Kind of like that. All right, here we go. So that looks right about centered. Control is down. Now I'll stick that on. There we go. You can see already how that is filled. I think you can see, right? How that's filled the gap. So now we'll work it in, mold it up pretty like. This is where I guess the water comes in. There's a little water. So like I said, they have a 30-minute work time and it cures in 24 hours, so I won't be able to really test this out till tomorrow. And I can wiggle it around a little bit right now just to get it all properly centered and vertical and just the way I want it. So that's kind of nice. I know you can't see what I'm doing here, but here, I'll try to remedy that. Okay, so we have to wait till tomorrow to really check this out, but here, let me see if I can focus this in for you. There you go. So there it is. And we'll wait 24 hours to see what we get. So, see you tomorrow. Okay, it is the next day, and as you can see, it has cured, and it's cured to a hard rubber that is really on there, I hope. Sure looks that way. So if I can turn this so you can see it. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. Again, controls clear. Everything seems to work out pretty good there. So, by the way, I looked at some of the footage from yesterday, and I apologize. I didn't get everything in focus and in shot and the way I wanted to, and that's just part of the struggle of trying to shoot it and do it and doing it yourself. So sorry about that. I hope I can edit something together that's worthwhile. I have a GoPro J mount here, and we'll put that in like so. That feels really good and stable. I like that. And then the GoPro sits in there, and then I'll put the screw in. Actually, I'll probably use this thumb screw here, but if I put any other adapters in there or lengths of connectors, I'll probably use bolts rather than these thumb screws just to keep it sane. But that's the idea, right? So I think I'm going to have it tipped back, because when your head's down in the riding position, you want it level, so that'll be more tipped back. So I don't think this is the one I want to use necessarily, but it will work for demonstration purposes. And if I put this adapter is actually aluminum, it's a nice little one. It is a universal swivel, so you can go in all sorts of directions here. But it gives me a little extension. I think it's actually too big, but let's put it on for now. And this is one of those right here, this thumb screw here. I'd probably replace that with a bolt just to get the bulk out of the way. And then you can mount the GoPro there. Let's see. Where's my other thumb screw? Okay, got another one. See, let me get this in. You can see this is a real good reason why, a real good reason to replace all these with bolts. Actually, this is a long screw, probably the wrong one. Yeah, this is a long screw. But it'll give us the idea. There we go. So you replace it with bolts and it becomes a lot easier to manage. So you've got to tighten this down first though. There we go. So once it's all tightened down, again, I'm not sure this is going to be the final rig or not. I'm thinking not. But this gives me a little bit of clearance out front. I'll probably use a different piece here. I don't have any straight throughs. I got ones that turn direction, and that's obviously going to mount the camera the wrong way. But that allows me to tip it back. When the helmet's down, it gives me some room behind here to mount that stupid GoPro USB-C adapter for external mic. And I'm hoping to be able to like strap it to the camera back or Velcro it or something to get it out of the way. Again, I don't want to stick it to the side of the helmet. The whole point of this is not have stuff on the side of the helmet. So there you go. I can either do it this way or have it directly onto the mount here. But this is the idea. That's the idea there. And this will be right on the chin of the helmet. So the wind hits me about on the top of the forehead. So this will be out of the wind flow and won't be any more drag, and the helmet is still clean. And there you go. One other thing I have is I also picked up another case for my GoPro. This is aluminum. It has there's really a style sold by many different companies under different names with different logos on them. This is called a Forever Cam. I've seen a lot of different names on there, and it's really the exact same device as far as I can tell from the pictures. But it's got a hot shoe you can put on the top. It's got the mount on the bottom. It's also got you can get a mount for a tripod, a 1/4 inch eyelet. The back of this, there we go. The back of this slides up so you can put the camera in, and it has a little spring mounted little ball there that has a recess in the back of this frame, which keeps this secure. I haven't used it yet, so we'll have to see. But I'm going to try this as well. That snaps into place, your camera would be inside. The reason I want to use this is it has I think this is a 55 millimeter UV. I'm sorry, it's a 52 millimeter UV. And your camera goes behind that, so all the bugs and debris and whatnot, rocks, etc. hit this, which is cheap and easily to be replaced. It screws in, screws out very easily. Rather than on the camera itself, which has, once you screw up that lens on the camera, you're done. So I'm going to try this as well, and I'll have to get back to you on how that works. But it's like 20 bucks, so we'll see. Tomorrow we're going to try to go for a ride. Or maybe it's you. Or maybe it's you. Maybe it's both of you. Thanks for tuning in. Please consider subscribing. Give us a like. You know the drill. In the meantime, ride safe. Keep wrenching. Later.